very inspirational. She's not a public speaker. This
Uh-huh.
woman is a musician and singer, and she talks about how she created opportunities for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was pertinent to you because not only do you need to create opportunities for yourself, but as a leader in
Mm-hmm.
business, you help to encourage or create opportunities for other people too.
Mm-hmm.
To to here's the expression is to bring out the best in others is the expression. To bring out the best in others.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes.
So yeah, so in your interview, remember it's not all about me, I. It's what you can do for them,
Uh-huh.
what you can do for others. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for me. I mean, of course they want to know your experience or to elaborate on it, who you are as the man, like we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
What's your story? That's all the package.
Yeah.
But the end story is what can you do for them?
Mm-hmm.
Can you think outside the box?
Mm-hmm.
Can you think in a way that most people won't how most people won't respond? What can you do? What can you do for them that's different
Mm-hmm.
than everyone else? It
Mm-hmm.
could be attitude, could be attitude. It could be creativeness.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other things that you can think outside the box?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is important to create motivation people uh,
Okay.
to make them work to
Motivation.
do their work maybe to do my work. Yeah,
Mhm.
and this is important trait or skill um, on this position. Yeah, to make people work in some ways.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you help people feel motivated?
Uh, um, it depends on people.
Mhm.
Mainly through explanation of importance of the results and
Mhm.
the challenge and interests of assignment of the task. Yeah, and that is
Mhm.
really hard to do, but it's very valuable for their
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, and
Yeah, of course.
further.
Okay. So when I worked at Harrah's Tahoe, which is a hotel casino,
Hmm.
I had a fantastic boss. She was I regretted ever leaving her department
Mm.
because my next boss was terrible.
Yeah.
But my good boss, she was very motivating.
Hmm.
And before each shift, she
Hmm.
would have kind of have a cheering session.
Hmm.
You're like, yay,
Oh.
what are we doing today? Yay, a cheering session, a time to get excited. So that was one way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a way to communicate too.
Hmm.
Communication doesn't always have to be about problems
Yeah,
or
of course.
plans. Communication can just be a social thing to
Hmm.
get people motivated.
Yeah.
Do you feel motivated when you're given praise? Like, good boy.
um, yeah, this is pleasant, pleasant to hear.
Of course it
Especially
is.
if it's
Everyone loves praise.
yeah.
Praise is very motivating. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm not very good at it, actually. My my husband's always saying, "Did I do a good job? Am I doing good?" I'm like, "Oh God, yes, you're a good boy." But some people really need it. They do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is hard to do, how to say, it is hard to do uh, not clearly, not true, that it seems truthfully,
I know.
truly, yeah, not specific, not
Like,
that it looks naturally, yeah. Good boy,
well,
and you really think so, yeah, when you tell it, not just
I'll tell you
for
what my
play.
problem is. I sometimes I call myself the ice queen. Ice queen.
Ice cream.
Not ice cream. I wish I was ice cream.
Cream,
The ice
cream.
queen. I'll write it for you. The ice queen. Because
Uh-huh.
if someone is complaining, if someone is crying, I'm like, what do I do? Oh, I'm sorry. Have you ever watched The Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory?
Have you ever watched the show Big Bang Theory?
No, no, unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay, then I can't use that as an example. Yeah. So in the show, The Big Bang Theory, there's one character. His name is Sheldon, and he's super intelligent,
Uh-huh.
and he's not very good at social skills.
Uh-huh.
So his mother taught him when he was a boy, and now he's an adult, what to do if someone is upset. like like there, it's okay. I'm kind of like that. Yeah.
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah, it's hard. What do you do if someone's upset? How do you handle that?
It's I try to talk about it and
Mhm.
to advise something or to promise something maybe that
Mm,
oh it will everything will be okay, yeah, and we could manage with it, and we could done it, and we can
okay.
change situation maybe in the future, yeah.
Sure, sure. Well, there's two kinds of problems. There's personal and professional. So what would you do if you had an employee who
Mhm.
had a big personal problem that interferes with their work? What would you do? How
uh,
would you handle that?
I will communicate with him and understand what is the problem, and understand what employee needs in order to overcome this problem. And if it's, for example, if it needs some spare time or day off at work, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can provide it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if yeah, the problem is very big, yeah, we can try to solve this problem. But it
Mm-hmm.
depends. It depends. Um, uh, I try to help employee to
Mm-hmm.
solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep. I'll give you an example from my life. When my past husband died, I had one employee that Chinese that
mhm.
Chinese. Um, I had one employer
Well,
who was not exactly understanding, and I got fired.
uh,
I
uh-huh,
was working for two or three different companies at that time.
uh-huh,
And I had my other employers, I think I was working for three. My other employer said, take as much time as you need. When
mm-hmm,
you're ready, come back to work.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's participate
So,
and supportive. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
supportive. So I came back to work and I thought I was ready, but
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. So they said, okay, that's okay, that's okay. Take more time off. Come back when you're ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think that yeah,
yeah, I
it's
always.
a good way of management
Mm-hmm.
and personal collaboration, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
It, and you do know it's far more expensive to hire a new employee than it
Hmm.
is to try and keep an employee.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you fire an employee, have to hire a new one, train that new employee, it's a lot more expensive if you're
Yeah.
thinking on a monetary
Yeah.
mindset. Hmm.
I agree with it.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
and
What would you do? This is a big question.
mhm,
What would you do if you suspected that one of your employees had a drug or alcohol problem,
mhm,
but
mhm,
he or she would not admit to it?
mhm, mhm.
What would you do?
Um, I think that we should talk about it with him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. Uh, yeah, this is more better. This is better when we talk face to face. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
informally go
Mm-hmm.
outside to work. Maybe yeah, in the
Yes.
evening
Yes.
somewhere talk about the life moments, what
Mm-hmm.
is happening in his life and his or
Mm-hmm.
her, and then to continue to go to this problem, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
step by step, and uh, to offer a help, um, how I can help, yeah, ask it
Mm-hmm.
about, and maybe yeah, trying to solve this problem.
Mm-hmm.
If it is problem, yeah, maybe this is about some personal problem. Yeah,
Could be.
that yeah, that could be solved very
Mm-hmm.
very easy. Yeah, for example, if
Mm-hmm.
this is about money, company may lend this money for a long period of time and without interest,
Um,
for
yeah,
example.
well, a lot of companies and big companies, they offer rehab
Hmm.
and special medical and counseling care for people with drug and alcohol problems.
Hmm.
I don't know if this company does or not.
Hmm.
Um, do you know the warning signs of when someone has a problem with drugs or alcohol or both?
Hmm. Uh, I think that it's their appearance, how they look like, uh,
Okay,
and
appearance. Let's make a list. Appearance. Okay, what else?
then uh, how they communicate and behave at work.
Ah, behavior. How do they behave?
Uh, maybe they look tired, or they make a lot of mistakes,
Tired,
easy ordinary
mistakes.
mistakes. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
a lot of mistakes. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and they always late for a job.
Late. And with being late, you get excuses, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
they deadlines, miss deadlines.
Miss miss deadlines. Okay. Okay. I'm going to throw one in there. Show signs of insecurity. And
Uh,
with signs of insecurity come anger, especially in men. When men are
mm,
insecure, they overcome it with signs of anger,
uh-huh. Yeah.
which results in displays of anger. That, a lot of men especially are like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Hmm.
What else? They don't interesting in work questions, maybe job questions. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Lack of interest. Okay.
lack of interest.
Perhaps. Hmm.
And maybe they became close, not communicative
Oh,
with other
was
people. Yeah.
isolated? Is it, there's two, the isolation and also the opposite would be unusually social.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Unusually social. And I know this from experience.
Mm.
Unusually social. Yeah. Oh,
Very communicative.
okay. Well, and then also the kinds of things they talk about. Do they always talk about partying? Do they always, are they always joking about things that really aren't funny?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What kinds of things do they,
Mm-hmm.
they talk about? These are things that just seem a little odd or off the wall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some people you just don't know, but these are some things that can tell you that. And then, of course, when it gets really bad, you can smell it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
When it gets really bad, super bad, you can smell it. This is how my husband died, by the way. You could
mm,
smell the alcohol coming out of the skin, and it smells
mm-hmm,
bad.
mm-hmm,
You try to hide it. You try to hide it. It's not just from drinking. It's not what you smell on someone's mouth.
mm-hmm,
You could smell it through their body,
mm-hmm,
and you can't hide that. You can't
mm-hmm.
hide that.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So yeah, I don't know if they'll ask you this. How would you handle a problem like that? That's a big one.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. But mostly I think being a good listener and what happened with my husband, people kept trying to give him advice. You don't
mm-hmm,
give an alcoholic advice. Never give an alcoholic advice
mm-hmm.
or a
Yeah.
drug addict. But
Uh-huh.
you can be a friend and offer guidance
Mm-hmm,
because they will get upset at the strangest things.
mm-hmm.
Trust me. Trust me about that. Really weird things. Um, just be a friend and offer guidance because usually the alcoholic and the drug user has some insecurity. They're
Mm-hmm,
they're drinking, they're taking drugs to self-medicate for something that's wrong in their life.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not from now. Maybe it's from years and years and years of something from childhood. We don't know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But the results are now. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
usually the drug user or the alcoholic needs a sober friend, and that's about it, a sober friend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Because they can't get any sober friends
mm-hmm.
to party with or
Uh-huh.
just communicate with. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I think number one, speaking of men, I think most men who are users are looking for a father figure.
mm-hmm,
Father figure.
mm-hmm.
How can you be how can you be a father figure?
Um, uh, yeah, offering advices and
More
uh,
than that,
but,
think outside the
but
box.
uh-huh,
Hmm.
offering some help, maybe attracting the person in some activities. Yeah, like a body, maybe. Maybe inviting the person to some activities, maybe sport activities or some interesting activities.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
uh,
cool. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
yeah, visiting.
So, yeah, visiting, sober, fun activities. Okay.
Yeah. Uh,
And so the father figure is always the example.
mhm, mhm,
The example, because they don't know. They don't know how to act. Not really. Yeah.
mhm, mhm.
So they just want to be loved and accepted. And when they're not, they drink. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It is very hard because it depends
Oh yeah.
on the person. Yeah. There are some persons
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't want hear anything. They don't accept advices and
Oh, most don't. That's why I
yeah,
said no advice. That's why I said no advice because they hear advice from mom, they hear advice from dad, they hear advice from friends, they hear advice coming out the wazoo. The
yeah,
last thing they need to hear is more advice that they don't want, that they know they should do, but they don't want it. But what they need most is a friend.
yeah.
What they need most is a father figure. What they need most is someone to be the example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what they need. Yeah. So what happened? I'll give you the long story made short. My husband was on his deathbed, and
Mm-hmm.
he got so mad at me because I would bring ministers over to try to talk to him about the Bible and things like that. He'd get
Mm-hmm.
mad at me. He didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, one minister came over and he did not talk about the Bible. He did not talk about God.
Mm-hmm.
He came over to be a friend.
Uh-huh.
And that's what brought peace to his life. Was
Mm-hmm.
that someone very respected. This minister,
Mm-hmm.
he was the head of a church, very respected, would come over and be a friend to someone who
Mm-hmm.
was at the very lowest part of his life, and he came to be his friend.
Yeah.
And
Very
that
nice.
makes me want to cry. Yeah, yeah. And that's the number one thing is to be a friend. I'm not, it's hard when you're the boss to be the friend because you feel like you should have that separation, right?
Subordination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're the father figure, you'll always have that line of respect between you and your
Mm-hmm.
employees. That's why I say father figure. Not a father figure is like a friend, but it's more than a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
So tell me, who, go
mhm.
ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. I
Go ahead.
think I'm thinking about what what should you do when you became a boss of people who is much elder than you. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
is hard because they can't see
Yeah.
you as a father figure, yeah, and they should respect you. But how?
That's true. That's true. Well,
It does-
you would be amazed. After a while, age doesn't matter a whole lot. But that's a good question. You know, maybe you won't be able to help that person with a serious problem. Perhaps someone else in the company can.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
you don't want to breach confidence. That would be bad.
Mhm.
But maybe you can, you know, have a get together informally with the person you think would be a good friend. I don't know. You could come up with a plan.
Mhm.
But after a while, I'm 50. I don't know how old I am. 57? Oh my God. What, am I 50? No, I'm 56.
Oh, mhm.
I'll be 57 in October. I'm
Oh,
56. I forget. I'm too old. Um,
oh no.
but after a while, after a while, age doesn't really matter because um, I, as you know, I take Spanish classes online, kind of like what we're doing, and I'm old enough to be my teacher's mother,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of, but it does it, but we have that respect
Uh-huh.
because he's my teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, 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 yeah. You should be confident that the teacher is much expertise has expertise which is uh, higher than yours. Uh, yeah.
Oh, it wasn't always that way. When we first started class and he found out that I'm a teacher,
Uh-huh.
he's like, "Oh my God, oh my God."
No, no, I'm talking about
Like,
the subject
ah.
here.
Oh,
You don't
what? Say
you
again.
don't know Spanish. I'm talking about the subject here, the subject matter. You don't know Spanish, and
Oh,
she
I
is
knew a
this
little.
is this is
Yeah.
native, yeah, native language of this
Yes,
teacher.
he's a
And
native
that is
speaker.
why
He's a native.
you
Yeah.
know that is why the
Yeah.
expertise in this language is much better,
Uh-huh.
yeah, than yours, and that is
Hmm.
why
Yeah.
you respect, yeah. But if you're both teachers of English, yeah, and maybe she becomes an employer of yours,
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
this would be hard, yeah,
I'll
to
tell you, there have been some bosses that I did not respect
uh-huh.
that were much younger than me, and I'll tell you why. Is the reason why I did not feel respect for them is because they did not treat me with respect.
Mm, mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So even though some of your employees might be much older, as long as you treat them politely with respect, you
Mm-hmm.
know, they will respect you.
And recognize your experience and
Hmm.
your knowledge and accomplishments.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is the way.
Now, they might be a little careful around you at first because you would be a new person. It's hard being the new guy. I hate being the new guy.
Yeah.
But after a while, they'll say, "Hey, he's a likable guy. He knows his stuff. He treats me right. As long as you treat them right, you're golden." Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It's a good expression.
You're golden. Yeah. As long as you treat them right. Yeah. Okay. Um, so you said you're a little concerned with perhaps the German culture. Is that?
No, no, no. I like to speak with German people, and
Mm-hmm.
in May I traveled to Amsterdam. And
Mm-hmm.
departed, I'm from Düsseldorf. This is a city in Germany, and
Mm-hmm.
there was very funny official on the border. He
Yeah.
checks my passport, and I was with a girlfriend, and he looks
Mm-hmm.
at me, looked at my passport, and looked at
Mm-hmm.
my girlfriend and asked whether it is me or not. And this some kind of funny guy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we became in a good mood, and laughing with him and go
Oh,
further.
that's cool.
Yeah,
It's really
it was good,
cool.
good.
It,
Yeah.
it's always the people you hate and the people you love that you remember the most.
Yeah.
Like going through airport security. I mean, they're all terrible, but the only one you remember is the one good one. The one that
Yeah,
makes you laugh.
yeah, really. And
I had one. Yeah.
it was very good attitude. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
It's yeah. This is rare,
that's
rare.
a hard job to have a good attitude.
Not
Yeah,
always,
he must
not
love his
always.
job.
Yeah. Often we met different. Often we meet different situations. Yeah, no, on the border,
Yeah.
security. Yeah.
Okay, so as a boss, you're going to have, of course, lots of deadlines,
Uh,
but how would you handle it if you had different problems interfere with your deadlines? Like, I'm not talking about project problems. I'm talking
mhm,
about maybe problems with different employees
mhm, mhm.
where, because a lot of times you're focused on your work and then someone comes in, you know, how would you
Uh-huh.
handle that?
Um, I would ask to speak maybe uh, a bit louder. Yeah. Then I should to do my job and should concentrate. I should
Mm-hmm.
ask in polite manner. Um,
Well, if they can come back in a few minutes or something.
uh,
So,
yes. Mm, uh-huh.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Um, I think there is no another way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
talking to people, yeah, I am asking to be quiet.
Well, how do you deal with that stress when you're interrupted? Some guys can't do it. They have to finish their thought. They have to finish what they're doing before they look at anything else or talk to anyone else. What kind of guy are you?
Um, 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 I think I can ask several times to be a bit quiet, and um, I think that it's okay to be interrupted if it is very important, yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
someone else, and uh, to
Mm-hmm.
to stop talking and to maybe to go out and continue to talk there in different place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it is also important. But if you
Yeah.
yeah, if you like
Well, yeah.
pain in the neck, yeah, it's not a good fit. Yeah. And somebody
Some
tells
people.
you, yeah, that you like a yeah, pain in the neck. You should do something with it.
Well, preventative maintenance is always very good. I'll write that to you. Preventative maintenance, kind of like brushing your teeth. Brushing your teeth is there's the word, preventative maintenance. So when you get into the position, your crew should know if you're seriously concentrating on a project or a problem, or
Hmm.
seriously concentrating on a phone call,
Hmm.
serious talking to someone else, and you can't be interrupted.
Hmm.
Okay, but someone needs to communicate with you no matter how busy you are. So you can have procedures, right? Like, someone can text you,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
or a secretary can come in and hand you a note, right?
Hmm.
A note, little things like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and I think that's acceptable. So, how would you set up communication in your office?
Communication. Hmm.
Yeah, what are some different communication procedures that you could set up in your office?
Hmm. Mm. Um, I don't know. I think that you should, for example, if you situated, if you works in separate office,
Mm-hmm.
you can ask everybody to knock in before opening the door and coming into the
Okay.
room, yeah, to the
Knocking.
office, knocking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, I would maybe I would ask uh, to to ask or to see the timetable, my timetable before
Okay.
coming to me. Yeah, for example, or
Okay.
ask.
Timetable for available time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they don't want to disturb you during lunch. That's your time.
yes. And if the question is very important, I think that it is possible to text an SMS, maybe or
Okay.
short message. Yeah,
Texting, SMS. Okay.
well, telephone. Yeah, and I think that it is almost always possible to see the text. Short
Yeah.
message, yeah, and if it is really important, yeah, of course, you can
Mm-hmm.
take a break and answer this question. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this
All
way.
right. Okay. Now, another way for your employees to feel really comfortable with you is just to casually talk with them daily.
Mm-hmm.
Just casually. Hi, how you doing today?
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
simple greetings, right? So they know you're a good guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not official.
To, yeah, approachable image. Some guys are not approachable, but you would really need to have an approachable image. Yeah.
Approachable image. What does it mean? Approachable.
That means when you're approachable, that means people feel comfortable coming up and speaking with you. They don't have to be afraid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like talk everybody that my doors are always open.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
can come in any time and ask stuff.
Yes, but really mean it though. I've had bosses tell me that before and they didn't mean it, and then I got fired. I've been fired a lot
Uh-huh.
about it. Oh, my doors are always open. What are you doing here? You know.
Yeah. Someone think that it's kind of nowadays how cliche, yeah, and you
Mm,
always must
yeah,
talk this one, but even if you didn't like it, don't like it, yeah, really don't
I
like it, but
know.
you must tell this because it is like part of culture, corporate culture, and you should feed this.
Yeah,
Maybe this is
yeah.
a new standards that worldwide
Mm-hmm.
acceptable, yeah, and you must do it. But even if you don't like it,
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
this is wrong. Yeah, it depends on person. If you really don't like this, you shouldn't say like that.
Yeah. And the other, besides, you always have those stressful meetings with employees where you have to do the performance evaluation. We always hate that.
Yeah.
But don't make that the only time that you have one-on-one with your employees.
Hmm.
Because if
Yeah.
you only make the employee evaluation the only time you get together to really speak with your employees, they will be very afraid of you, and you don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe if, as you're watching your crew,
Hmm.
just go sit down at their desk. How you doing today? Is there anything you need? Tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. I'm bringing tacos, stuff like
Yeah.
that, you know?
Yeah, sure. I think that's good things that helps when you're going through when you're going in the office, for example,
Mhm.
uh, for the coffee or for someone somewhere in
Yeah,
yeah, you're always
yeah,
moving and meet someone and have a short talks. Yeah.
yeah. It's like when someone comes to your home, it's your home, but you serve them the coffee,
Yeah.
okay? You're the boss in the office, but even though the employees are technically working for you, you are serving them. You're
Mm-hmm.
serving them the coffee, in other words. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what we were first talking about. What can you do how can you serve the company more than just your job?
Yeah.
So your job is to be a servant, even though you're the boss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that the employees are telling you what to do. That's completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's
completely different. You are serving the company's needs. You're a servant. You are serving the employees' needs. You're a servant. You're also a father figure. You're also a leader. You're also a friend. You're
yeah.
also a teacher, right?
Yeah.
You're all
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. And
So
mhm.
these are
Yeah.
all good things to talk about when the company wants to know who you are as the man, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's very hard to do it. Yeah. To
I know.
analyze the person only just
I
in interviews. Yeah. You can
I
ask
know.
questions. Yeah, and get typical answers. Yeah.
Oh, you're creative. I believe in you. You're very creative.
Thank you.
Be yourself, be real. Yeah. Get outside the box. You don't want to be like everyone else. You want to be you, and you're very creative. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're very smart.
Yeah,
Very
thank you.
smart.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. So tomorrow's the big day.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Do you
waiting.
know when, where, what
Uh,
time?
it will be the dinner in the evening. And
Mm-hmm.
um, currently we don't select any place. Yeah, we agreed
Hmm.
to have a call tomorrow and to discuss details. Yeah,
Hmm.
when, what time, and what place it would be.
How do you dress for something like that? I I don't think you should wear a tie or a suit. How do you dress?
No, no, it will be casual shirt and
Mm-hmm.
some jacket and
Mm-hmm.
trousers, but it will be
Yeah.
smart casual style, yeah, without tie.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah,
I would wear trousers, not jeans, not blue jeans, but trousers,
trousers, yeah,
and a button-up shirt, a shirt with buttons.
buttons.
Yeah, a shirt with buttons. Not a, see, I'm wearing a t-shirt, not a t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
A
Yeah, the shirt.
kind of like what you're wearing. Yeah, a button-up shirt. Yeah, a dress shirt that has buttons. Do you know what buttons
Uh-huh.
are?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Buttons. Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand. Uh-huh.
okay. Yeah, that's called a button-up shirt. Because you do
Mhm.
button it up. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yep, that would be good.
it will be not as for the suit, yeah, classic short. No, it will be some casual, but with buttons, yeah. Mhm.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for you. Very excited for you.